strong.
All right, everyone. So you're welcome to today's training, and today we're going to be talking about creating an advert. So yes, we're going to create our first lead generation advert today with Facebook, right? And I'm just going to quickly walk you through from your business manager account how to set up a Facebook lead generation advert. So the first thing you want to do is click on Ads Manager, right? I mean, after you've logged in into your business.facebook.com account, you just click on Ads Manager, and that takes you to your more or less your campaign dashboard, right? It takes you to your campaign dashboard. You want to ensure so. I'm just going to walk you through this dashboard very quickly. On your left hand corner, you have your business tools. So this is your ads manager. This is where we are right now, where you manage all your adverts from. This is your billing, has to do with payments and payments and all of that. This is your ad account settings. This is your business settings. Ad account settings more or less has to do with information about the advertising account. Business settings takes you to the settings of this business account. It takes you out of the whole page entirely. Events manager is where you manage your pixels and things like that. We're not going to have any issues with events manager in this model. And account quality has to do with the quality of your advertising account. So if, for example, Facebook ends up banning any of um, your adverts, I mean, it's going to reduce your account quality. So you want to make sure your account quality is always high, right? So um, here you have the current manager account you're on. You have your account overview, and then you have the campaigns you're running, right? So right now we are on the campaign manager. Right here we have the advertising, the ad accounts that we can choose. So I'm just going to select our Naira ad account. All right. So this is like backstage to our advertising account, right? So here you have your campaigns, you have your ad sets, you have your ads, and every advertising account is broken down into these three elements, right? So you have your campaigns, which is more or less like the objective of the advert. Then you have your ad sets. Ad sets has to do with the targeting, your audiences, how you target them. The ads, of course, the ads have to do with your creative, to create the ad creative, right? That's like the copy, the images. You can see the images here, the name of the ad, and all those things. So those are like the three levels for the advertising account. So we're going to get started with creating an advert, right? So I'm going to click on create. So you just click on create with me, and then we're going to select lead generation because we're creating a lead generation advert. And then we're going to name this campaign. So I always advise that you name your campaign based on the offer that you are actually advertising. And the offer we are advertising is okay. So this is the offer that we want to promote on Facebook, right? So it's Bonima's Properties, actual price 2 million, 50% discount, promo price 1,050,000, right? Location and all of this. So we want to be able to promote this offer on Facebook and start generating leads for this wonderful offer, right? So, how do we go about doing this? I'm just going to head over to Facebook right now, and I'm going to name this campaign. I'm going to name the campaign after Prosperity Garden. Don't worry, nobody else sees it, but I just put it like that so that I can remember the campaign on my when I'm on my campaign tab. I can always remember the campaign. So just put it Prosperity Gardens campaign. Or you can just leave it as Prosperity Gardens. Um, so on the audience tab, I like to put my audience avatar. So I just say, high ticket buyers. And I like to put the location Lagos. And let's say I'm just targeting Lagos because this is in Ibejuleki, Lagos. So I just want to target Lagos. And then Yeah, prosperity garden. So I just continue. All right, so now we're in the campaign creation element, and this is really the most important part of the modules, right? Which is where you're setting up the campaign for this particular offer. And so what you want to do is, I'm just going to walk you through all these things one by one. Special ad categories that has to do if you are running, maybe you're running an advert for an election of a special or like a social issue, or maybe like discrimination, Black Lives Matter, politics, religion. That's when you click on special ad categories. But if not, you just leave it as it is. Um, Campaign details. So you have option and you have just option. There's nothing else there. Campaign objective. You can change it if you want to change the objective. So we're running a lead generation advert, which is okay. Campaign spending limit. I will still leave this as none because it actually affects the way your adverts run, and most times it doesn't bring out the best results. So I don't use the campaign spending limit option. A/B split testing, that's okay. You don't really need to bother with that right now. And so you can just click on next to the ad set area. So now what you want to do is choose the web page that you want to advertise with, right? Um, and there are various kinds of options for your form for your lead generation for your lead generation campaign. So you have instant forms and you have calls. So if you just want people to call you, can click on calls. But I would advise you do instant forms because you don't know how many people might call you and at what time. They might be calling you at the same time and your number is not going through, so you might lose people. So I advise you just do instant forms, and at the end of I'll show you how to do it. That even after they fill the form, they'll still place a call to you. Then choose the Facebook page that you want to advertise with. So I'm just going to select my own page, which is Talden e-learning center, and then it's going to prompt you to accept the Facebook lead terms. I've already accepted it for this page, but let's say you're working with a page that hasn't accepted these lead forms. Come on, let's try this page. Okay, it's already been accepted. So, but sometimes, most of the times, if you are just doing it for the first time, your page hasn't accepted the lead form. So um, you would have to ensure that your Facebook page accepts the lead form, right? And then next is your budget. So you have your daily budget. If your advertising account is in Naira, if you selected Naira for your advertising account, you're gonna see the um, the currency in Naira. But if you selected dollars, you can't. You're gonna see it in dollars, and you can't change it from dollar to Naira. That's why you have about five options for your advertising account, right? That's after you've spent money on the advert. So if if what you have is dollar, I would advise you just put like $5 and start the advert, and then once you've spent money on your advert, you can then go back to your business manager and then change it to. You can go back to your business manager and then add another ad account, add at least five ad accounts, and ensure at least three of them are Naira. So I'm just going to put this. So you can put this at maybe 500 Naira to start with, just to test the ads. So I would advise between 500 to 1,000 Naira at least. Then next you can put a start and end date, right? So if you want the advert to end on a particular date, let's say I want it to end on 30th of November, you can put it there, right? Now we go into the targeting, which is really, really important. So um, we're just going to dive right in. First thing you want to do is edit the locations, right? So there are various kinds of. You want to remove this, so you just click on this X to remove it, and then you search for the location. So let's say I want to target Lagos for this offer. I put Lagos. I just search for Lagos in this search locations, and I put it. Let's say I want Abuja. I just search for Abuja. then click on it and then it pops out. And so it's so straightforward. Next thing we want to put adjust is your age bracket. So for properties like this, I want to advertise from 28 and above to 65 plus. It's okay. Both genders are fine. Next thing you want to edit is your demographics, interests, and behaviors. So this is where you go into detailed targeting of who you want to see the advert. So in here, this is where your customer avatar comes into play. So for example, like for this kind of offer, I want people that frequently travel. So that's a behavioral pattern. So I add that. And then you can click on suggestions and it brings out more suggestions. So I can say people that frequently travel, they have interest in travels, uh, people that's interested in vacations, small business owners, no, people interested in tourism, yes, holidays, yes. And then another thing I can search for is family. Um, hold on. So that's people who um, I can search for people who are married. Right? So, so that's these are people that just got married. You know, they might be looking to buy land. You know, yes. Newlyweds, 1 month, 6 months. Yeah. So I want to go with 1 year, 3 months. Luxury people interested in luxury real estate. Yes. Uh, okay. Then now I can go into various investments. Maybe I can type like gold investments. Okay, gold as an investment. Can type diamond investment. Suggest so I can check the suggestions again, see what it brings out. If there's anything I can add. So here it really comes down to your creativity of who you feel your audience is. I can check gold coin, yes. But you want people that are interested in very, very specific um, because those are the people that can really afford to buy properties, right? I can say maybe yachts, people who are interested in owning a yacht, jets. Another thing that you can work with is hotels and maybe airlines. I can say maybe people interested in Emirates Airlines, uh, Emirates. I can check the Dubai Mall. Yeah, people who are interested in Dubai Mall, people who so you can think of other locations. I can say TripAdvisor. Yeah, interested in TripAdvisor. So just people that have a certain kind of lifestyle that that they most likely would yeah, Trivago, Qatar Airways, exactly. You know, so these are people that most likely will be able to afford, to get started in buying properties and check people who work in interested in Chevron Corporation, people interested in mobile, Troy Texaco, mobile. Yeah. So once you have all of this, you can just save. So I'm just gonna save this audience right now, right? Because I think the audience is actually it's quite good. So yeah, so you can save it. But before we save, You can also click on browse and then browse through all these items. So I can browse through behaviors and then see for purchase behavior and see for maybe travel. People who just returned from travel like 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago. I can click on this. Uh, can browse again. Click on browse. So you want to spend a lot of time here, in your targeting because that's the idea. You want to reach the right kind of people. I can also target experts, maybe people who live in other countries that might be interested in buying land in Nigeria. I don't know. Friends of those who live abroad, yeah, family of those who live abroad. So these are some targeting options, some nice target options. You really want to spend a lot of time here. Family of those who live abroad, yeah. Um, can check their digital activities. You can, people who use certain kinds of phones, maybe Mac OS, um, you iPhone 7, things like that. Windows XP. I see internet browser used. Oh, operating. You can also go to interest, like people who are interested in certain things. You can check for the home industry. Let me see business industry, banking. You can check for people interested in investment banking. I mean, I feel people like that are they're also quality people. You know, So you get the idea. Once you are able to build your audience like that, I mean, I mean, it's a lot of work. You just save. But I think this audience is really good. I mean, I'll probably work on this maybe for like another, 1 hour or two, so that I can get the right people. But once you have that, you just save your audience. So I'm just going to save this as property gardens audience. Get the idea. Once you have that, boom. Yeah. So once you have that audience, you have a chance to duplicate your audience in case you want to create another kind and things like that. But I'll just leave it as that. Then you come down to the placement. So under placements, you have two options. You can leave it as automatic. That means this is where Facebook is going to place your ads. So there are different assets around Facebook where your ads are going to be placed. Sometimes your ads are going to be placed in a manual place, sometimes they might show the ad more on Facebook, they might show the ad more on Instagram, they might show the ad more on Messenger, So, but you can actually control that and tell them, okay, I want my adverts to just show on Facebook. I want my adverts to just show on specific networks, right? So it's possible to do that. So here, because we're doing a lead generation adverts, I believe we can only it's only Facebook and Instagram are available. So if I want my adverts to just run only on Instagram, I will untick this and the advert will only run on Instagram. But if I want the advert to run on Facebook and Instagram, I leave the two. And if I want the advert to run on only Facebook, I want to Instagram and to just show on Facebook. Right, so I'll leave the two. Most of the time, if you leave it the two, is I'll say 90% of the traffic will come from Facebook. So if you want to do an Instagram ad, what I would advise is that you first do a Facebook. If you can do both, and then you do another ad where you untick this, right? So you do a second advert where you create another advert, but then when you get here, you untick this and you leave this one. But I'll leave both of them for now. And then you can see that as we are working on the targeting and everything, right on the right hand corner, it's showing us the amount of people we can reach. So it's showing us that every day at this budget, we would be able to reach between 500 to 1,500 people every day. and you say that we will get an estimated of 0 leads. So, if, for example, if I increase my budget to 2,000 naira a day, it's going to show that I can get between 2 to 12 leads. But just start with 500. I know Facebook will tell you, oh, you get 0 leads. Don't mind them, right? Because the truth of the matter is, uh, let me just untick this. The truth of the matter is, you actually get more than what they are saying. You still get as many leads as possible. Just test it. And then you can come here as well and see where the adverts are going to be showing. You can untick anyone you don't want, right? And that's that. Okay, so before we go further down, I also want to show you other devices. So, for example, let's say you don't want the adverts to show to people on desktop. You just want it for people that are on their mobile phone. You untick this desktop, so it will only show to people with mobile phone, right? Now, but if you want it to show to just people with desktop, you untick mobile. It will only show the adverts to people on desktop. You can see it's very few. You know, I usually remove desktop and just show it to mobile because mobile is more targeted. Most people are on their phone, so I just leave it on mobile. And so it shows us that we can reach more people if we focus only on mobile phones. So that's something you can test as well. Then you come down to your delivery cost control. So this is where you can more or less control the amount of money you're spending on a daily basis. But because you don't have an idea of how much you're supposed to set here, you just leave this blank and let that option be automatic, right? So that is it about your creating a campaign and building an audience. In the next video, we're going to talk about the last stage, which is creating your advert itself. That's your advert copy, right? And so we're going to talk about that in the next video. So I'll see you then. Take care. Bye bye.
Be strong.